Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Judge Plaster. This is my court clerk, Monica McCool, my constable, Jesse Ison, his deputy, Greg Taylor. Representing the state today is Hillary Heisel. And just a few housekeeping rules before we get started. The restrooms are outside in the foyer, the last door on your right. If you should have to go out there, out here in the foyer area. No outburst in the courtroom. No cell phones permitted in the courtroom. If they go off, if they're not up here, they belong to me. Okay? So let's keep that clear. Today we're here for the procedure of an animal seizure hearing. The hearing before the court today is only to determine the custody of the animals that were seized on April the 10th, 2018, presently in the care of SPCA. Other charges, if any, that may be forthcoming will be at the discretion of the VZC County District Attorney's Office. This animal seizure cause number AS040918-1, the state of Texas versus defendant James and Ruth Peterson. Again, I want to make it clear that the jurisdiction of this court is limited to determine the custody of the said animals that were seized. This is not a criminal hearing. This is a civil. The criminal is out of my jurisdiction, that's in another court. So there'll be nothing done today other than the fact of the civil side of it. The criminal side is taken up in another court. At this time, State, are you ready to make your presentation?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
Judge, the Petersons originally signed away custody of their animals on April the 17th. Oh, I'm sorry, Judge. On April the 12th. Then I was contacted by their attorney and asked not to present that document to the court. There were a few things we went through negotiations on. The main difference in the two surrender informations is that we changed the name.
Let me stop you just a minute.
Sure, Judge.
The attorney's name for them was?
Kelly Bishop.
Kelly Bishop?
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you. Go ahead.
So the main thing that their attorney was concerned about, we changed the word owner to the word custodian. There was some evidence that the Petersons did not own all of these animals. There were some animals they were boarding for other people. There were some animals that were surrendered and the ownership was kind of unclear at the time. So we agreed to do that. Judge, the other difference in the two agreements is that animal number 80, which is the longhorn steer bullet, originally the Petersons had requested 21 of the animals back. They were saying those were the animals that they owned, not just the animals they were taking care of. After reviewing the evidence, Judge, as you're aware, under Health and Safety Code, Section 821.023, it is considered on an individual basis, each of the animals, whether they failed to provide adequate food, care for those animals, to determine whether or not animal cruelty was present. After examining the evidence in the case, we did tend to agree with the attorney that animal number 80, the longhorn steer, did not exhibit those signs of neglect that all of the other animals did. So we did agree to give them back Bullet, the longhorn type steer, because we did not believe we had the statutory basis to deny that request. We believed if it did go to a hearing, that there was not sufficient evidence to prove our burden. So we did agree to give Bullet back, but Judge, the rest of the animals were surrendered by the Petersons. Their understanding is that them signing this surrender agreement would terminate and waive the hearing, and they understand, in fact, it is explicitly said in the document that they understand that this is completely voluntary, that they were not coerced, and they understand that this does not provide them immunity from any future criminal prosecution. So at this time, we would tender to the court the document that was signed by both of the Petersons, which was the transfer of animal custody. Judge, I'd ask you to take judicial notice, especially on page number 4 of this document, that myself and the Petersons did sign off on taking animal number 80 out of the surrender agreement.
Which is the Longhorn.
Longhorn steer, correct, Judge?
Okay. And this is their signature. Did you, because I can't read it.
Yes, Judge.
One of these signatures.
They came into the district attorney's office yesterday. The top signature is Mr. Peterson's, the bottom signature is Mrs. Peterson's, and I did witness
So
them
you know,
sign
witness, you know that is Mr. and Ms. Peterson that did this signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
And they wasn't given any, I mean, they wasn't forced to sign this document?
No, Your Honor.
No way?
No. We were very explicit, and after speaking with their attorney communicated to them the terms of our agreement, and the situation surrounding the agreement. And then when they came in yesterday, I reinforced that they understood that this did not bar any criminal prosecution. This was simply about the custody of the animals, and they voluntarily agreed to surrender those animals.
Okay. And are they gonna set a time with the SPCA to go pick up the steer?
Yes, Your Honor. I told the Petersons yesterday, Investigator Burns has their contact information. He's clearly been out there several times. I told them he would contact them and set up a time, and whether they come and get the steer or the SPCA brings them to them, they can coordinate all of that after the hearing is concluded and the order is entered.
Okay, all right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, hearing this, I grant this and will accept this release. Just a little bit of side note, there's a lot of publicity out there with the animal seizures that we're having today, especially in Zandt County. That's the only one that we can control. Chris is our district attorney, he is here. I have jurisdiction for us, the civil end of it, like I said at the forefront. They have the jurisdiction with a higher court for the criminal, which is higher. There's nothing, there's a lot, the court has been bombarded by phone calls, people coming in, very angry with the court, with the whole county. Our hands are tied, people. There's only so much the court can do. And I'm not going beyond that, as well as Mr. Martin or Ms. Hillard here is going beyond those statutes of what we're allowed to do. We're doing our best to take care of the situation. It is rampant in this county. It's rampant all around. It's not just this county. I think if I were to put Mr. Art up here and he could tell some of the situations that are afforded him with the SPCA, it is not focused right here on VZC County. The social media is just went on a warpath. My home is receiving calls. It's just went crazy. And this judge better do this, or this judge better do that, or the DA better do this, or, you know, those are threats to us, and we're public servants. And if I have to take it further, I will. I mean, I'm doing my job. That's the only person I can speak of. It's my job. And I'm doing it to the best of my abilities according to the statutes. And so I just wanted to make that clear. I'm sure that, I hope there's no one out here in the audience that has that. Last time we were here, Jason Burns and I caught it from both ends. I'm not going to catch it from both ends today. It's not going to happen. Mr. Ison will take you out of here if that happens. And I don't want to do that. I'm not trying to make a scene. We're trying to do this as civil as we can and do it as professional as we can. We're going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm speaking for myself and my court, my constable. I appreciate the work that the SPCA is doing for these animals, the care of these animals, what they do. My hat's off to you guys. Doc, thank you for coming and being a part of us today, as you always are in these situations. Jason, I appreciate all the help that you've done. I'm making this public to where son says that we did not do it last time. So, Mr. Ison, for your rounding these up the day of the seizure, I appreciate what you and your the sheriff's department did on the end of taking care of these animals in a professional way. At this time, that's my ruling. Y'all have it.
All rise. Court dismissed.
If any of y'all have any questions, Ms. Heisel and I will stick around.